What's up? So I'm going to be filming a room tour, or like my plant room tour. I initially wanted to wait because like it's not really how I want it to look right now. Like all the stands are just like old stands that like my old roommates left behind or I've had forever, and then it's like a little messy right now. But yeah, rather than waiting, it's so vexy. Rather than waiting until it was perfect, which it probably would never be perfect, I just figured I should just film it now. And then it is kind of more realistic. I mean, majority of the time, the room in here is messy. Like there's almost always dirt on the floor. There's plants left out from watering, or I'm constantly moving things around. So it's definitely a more honest look. Even so, I still cleaned it up a little bit because it was still messy, just like trash left out. And yeah, it doesn't look that bad. Like I cleaned up most of it, but even then it's still a little dirty. So I was not originally planning on doing a voiceover for this video, but I rambled way too much in the original recording. So we're just gonna go from here and start over, and it's all good. All right, so here's Baxter. He is a bull mastiff. He just turned 1. Here's what the room looks like from the door. Nothing exciting over there. We have some files, trash, a bag of old soil, which is trash, this cool desk that Raul built me, and that ugly fan, which is 100% an eyesore and not aesthetically pleasing, but it does the trick for my veggie sprouts, my starters, all that. Here, this wall, ooh, I'm so excited. I'm going to be doing a video on this. I have an idea with some shelves I'm going to put up. Here is a coleus. It was Raul's. I got it for him at a plant swap here, an event in Colorado. It was very small when I first got it. It was very full, and I accidentally broke off one whole chunk of it, and he didn't want it anymore, so it became mine. I have this big boy Adansonii doing very well. People call it the Swiss cheese plant, but sometimes it's Monstera is also called a Swiss cheese plant, so I think that gets confusing, and I don't like it. Lots of new growth, which is exciting. It loves light and the humidifier. I love when the growth comes through those fenestrations. I think it's so cute. And I'm getting some inner ones as well, so that's very exciting. Next is the Congo, red Congo? I can't remember. It's a philodendron. I have 2. That one's obviously massive. This one I've had longer. It's always giving me new leaves. I love it. Here we have a Scindapsus exotica. I have a slightly larger one downstairs, but this one is also very full. Looks great in here. I have a Hoya linearis. I can't remember how you say it. I used to not be a Hoya person at all, but I have found that I now have a few in my collection. I have my Mandula pothos, not a true pothos, but still looks exactly the same as when I first bought it. Very slow growing. I have my bromeliad. Yeah. It's given me a lot of pups. It's been flowering, so I think I might lose the main head soon, but I'm sure I'll find out. Next, we have the Enjoy pothos. Again, not a true pothos, but I have read that they're very slow growing for people. That side is a little ugly, but mine grows very quickly, so I would say more sun than you would think, because I'm constantly taking cuttings. This is the Birkin. I did not like this plant, really. I thought it was very overhyped when it hit major stores, but here, I have one now. Here are my moonlights. Love them. They literally sparkle in the sunlight. I was lucky enough to get this one when they dropped here in our local grocery stores. It has some winter damage from when they were shipped. Definitely they were overwatered. This second one, you can really see it. A Planty friend picked one up for me at the second Coast of Farm drops here. And it'll take a while before it perks back up. But this is the rickrack cactus. Grows pretty quickly, and the leaves are very thick and juicy. Here is the watermelon peperomia. Again, another plant that I did not really care for, but I found one at actually a local Home Depot that had really big leaves, and that completely changed my mind on the plant. Next, I believe, is my Cebu blue. Yes, Cebu Blue pothos. And I got this actually in a trade here from someone off of Facebook Marketplace. It was not staked when I first got it, and it was a very full pot. I took a bunch of cuttings, staked it. The original pole it was on, it outgrew very quickly, and so I restaked it, and I pretty much chopped off a lot more growth to start over. So I have it on these poles that are detachable. You can continue to add more. I need to turn it more to give it even amount of sunlight. I definitely slack on that, but it has been giving me consistently nice sized leaves, which is cool. I don't think it's going to be very mature with the cool fenstrations and all that anytime soon, but it's fine. Here's my micans, another philodendron. So velvety, hard to find in my area. I wish I could find a bigger pot, but it's all right. It also, I had some sun damage. I had it in too sunny of a spot, and I moved it. I think it's a lot happier now, although I think I might need to move it again because the new growth, I think I show you here, yeah, is a little leggy, and the leaves are kind of small coming in. But other than that, 10 out of 10 plant. Here's my shingle plant. I was again blessed by the Costa Farm gods up there, and I found this at a Whole Foods. It originally came with one vine on each side, and I didn't really like that, so I took it off, reattached both to one side. The new roots are finally starting to come in, so hopefully it'll stay on the board. Here is my Pride and Joy, or one of them at least. This is the philodendron, I'm blanking on the name, I'll put it on the screen. Technically, it's not a philodendron anymore. It was reclassified a few years ago. These fingers is what they call them in their mature form, get really big, almost like a full circle. It looks really cool. Also called a fun bum plant, I think, which I think is an odd name, but here is the Calathea, likely the only one I will ever own. I don't care much for these plants because they're very needy, just all around drama, and I don't want that. But this Calathea is very hardy, considering, and the foliage is, in my opinion, great to look at. It likes a lot of sun, moist soil, and it still gets the occasional crispy leaves, which I don't know how else to get around that besides keeping it inside an enclosure of some sort, like a greenhouse, and I ain't about all that work right now, at least not for my one Calathea. We have my giant Congo, really great sized leaves. Wilfred just barked right there. It's always giving me constant growth. These things grow so fast with the right amount of sun. This new leaf is pretty big, which is exciting. I think it might be the biggest one in a while. Here we have the Hoya of all Hoyas, in my opinion, the Obovata. This is what made me like Hoyas. I have the wax ivy or grape ivy. This is a cutting from the mother plant that I chopped down because it was infested with pests. Here we have the Hindu rope. It's a little rough looking. I got it in a trade a while back, just a few weeks ago. And I think I need to put it in a dome of some sort to kind of get those plump leaves back. Here is a really cool art print from an old homie back home. I've known her since preschool. She makes really great stuff. I have a few other pieces of hers. I'll link her website in because it's just amazing. Here is probably my favorite plant, if not my favorite, top 3. I have been wanting a jungle boogie for so long, but I did not want to pay $1 million, and I just did not trust it to be shipped for at least the size that I wanted. But I found this on Facebook Marketplace. Massive leaves, very easy care. This leaf is the newest since it's been in my hands, which is very exciting. Very thick boys for stems. Here's me showing you just how big it is. I have the Ficus umbellata. Can't quite remember. It needs a stake for sure. I love this plant. The leaves get huge. Very easy care for a ficus, and 1,000,000 times better than the freaking fiddly fig. I do not like that plant. I think it is so ugly and it's so finicky. It's just not worth it. This plant deserves all the hype that fiddly fig gets. Should be onto this plant. We have the Scindapsus, just another cutting right here, often called silver pothos, I think, for some reason. And then the Enjoy, that's a cutting from the mother plant. I also have the Scindapsus mother plant downstairs. This is a Cebu Blue cutting. I am shipping this to a Planty friend on Instagram once the weather perks up a bit here. ZZ plant, quite ugly. I don't really care for ZZ plants. I need to get rid of it, honestly.
Here we have the fern leaf cactus, I believe. I think that's wrong, but I actually won this in a giveaway from a local nursery, and here's me thinking that I had scale on my plants, but I figured out we were all good. But I really thought this was going to be a pest video after that, so thank God. And then this monstera, it was massive when I was first gifted this, and I separated it. I really wanted to promote as mature of growth as I could get just from this section. Again, I have it on the same type of moss pole as my Cebu Blue, so I don't really have any issues if it outgrows it, but it's been giving me pretty good growth. I think it likes this spot in the room. Not too mature yet. And then my philodendron Rio, no, I wish it was a Rio, Brazil. It's kind of scraggly as the philodendron Xanadu, although I think this one was reclassified as well, so not technically philodendron. The variegated ginger, kind of hard to take care of in my opinion. We have a cutting. The Bloody Mary philodendron, I think is its nickname. Honestly, it's kind of annoying. Every new leaf comes out stuck, and they come out very small. And I have seen from other people that this is kind of a common problem, but I'm hoping, I don't know, I might eventually get rid of it. But here is another Scindapsus. I think I might use this for a giveaway. It's a very nice looking little pot. Bamboo, 10 out of 10 recommend. Pot your rooted bamboo, because mine has taken off since then. Here's some cacti over here. That one I actually brought home home with me from California when I moved here to Colorado. We have some little blue guys. Very cute. We have my Shangri-La. This is, again, top 3 favorite plants. It is a pothos, not a true pothos, but I have a lot of new shoots coming up, which is exciting. I hope one day I'll have a very full pot. They're kind of hard to find. Here we have the Peru. Finally, I have some growth coming in on this cutting. Everyone says that these things grow so fast, but I have yet to have that, so I'm hoping it catches up once that new growth settles in. We have my lithops, my little booties is what I call them. Again, I brought these all home with me from California. These are definitely one of my favorite plants, and I would like a giant pot of them one day. That's my olive tree, not flowering yet. I have my dwarf pomegranate tree. It looks a little dead right now, but it really does give pretty flowers and eventually pomegranates in the right conditions. We have cuttings from my Stapelia cactus. I believe that's the name. I can't remember. And then this is the same ivy that was on my windowsill. It was a very full pot, but again, the pests would not leave me alone, so it was easier just to cut everything. It's growing back quickly though, so I'm sure it'll fill out again in no time. We have a new leaf coming in on the elephant ear. That one's probably going to die off. That's how it usually goes, at least for my care. One new, the old one out. We have my Dion Aduli. I know I'm not saying that right. I actually just did a reel on my Instagram of me potting up like 6 or 7 of these sprouted ones in this container right here. And these are just some more Scindapsus cuttings that I honestly don't have much faith in. I don't think they're gonna take, but all the ones to the left of it are fully rooted, potted up. And now my sprouts doing very well. I finally have habanero sprouts coming in, which is exciting because I was most looking forward to those. And then onions. My pumpkins are just thriving in here. My broccoli is still looking a little leggy, I think. Up here, a bunch of plants that I am planning to get rid of or working on. That second jungle boogie, it's gonna hurt my heart to get rid of, but I don't think I have the space for it. This is Astapelia. The flowers look really cool. They're like alien-like, but again, I just don't love it. I'll probably get rid of it. We have a Dischidia, I can't remember if that was the one right next to it. A little baby ginger. This is the silver squill, I believe it's its nickname. I've neglected it, as you can tell. It needs more light. That foliage needs to be chopped, and it'll grow back out in no time. Here is I'm blanking, but it needs to be watered, obviously, that little guy. And then the bird's nest fern. Yeah, so very easy considering it's a fern. I think it does not, or at least in my care, it gets by with not as much humidity. And those fronds are so cute. What's next? We have the coleus. These things grow like weeds. definitely a ever-giving plant. That cutting is massive. A snake plant, don't really care for it. And then this is the fire stick cactus, I believe is its nickname. In the sun, the tips get red and orange and they're very pretty, but I've neglected it, as you can tell. Like this guy, rip. We have the Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, I believe. People often sell it as the mini monstera or monstera minima or something.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I had planned. If I didn't name anything and you want to know the name or you just want to know more about the plant or where I got it, any questions at all, feel free to ask. If I labeled anything wrong, feel free to correct me for sure. Besides that, I'll end up doing an updated one, I'm sure, once I add on the little additions that I have. And again, I like to move things around a lot in here, but I think they're going to stay like this for a while. All my plants really seem to be liking that. So yeah, besides that, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.